Jerusalem has been the heart of the Holy Land and its capital for thousands of years. Buried right here are artifacts holy to Judaism and Christianity alike that span the entire timeline of the Bible. Emek Tzurim is one of the many active dig sites in Israel, still finding those amazing artifacts of great historical significance. Now, in the journey we're going to take together, digging and sifting at sites like these are just two of the very few ways we have to uncover such artifacts, every one of which tells an incredible story.
It's incredibly informative. It's not really what I was expecting at all for this festival. I think it was really informative. I think archaeology covers so much, and this excavation of biblical artifacts is really really neat. The way you do this was really interesting. I think it's an interesting story. I think seeing how archaeologists go about finding these different artifacts is really interesting. And you open it up at the end to so many other explorations to come. I think the way you did this was really smart, incredibly informative, and very succinct.
The importance of anthropology and the study of cultures and artifacts. We get to see something that I feel like has been sort of taken away from our society a little bit. The study of history and proper history and how we've gone about studying where we come from. We have this anthropologist here from Jerusalem as they are sifting through, rocks and sediments, and they're trying to find pieces of history that have been left behind, and they come across two mites. And we dive into the connection between the folklore and the stories that go and the connections that it makes to the Bible itself. And we dive into the story of, we have the rich who just give what they could, but she gave all that she had. And I think that's a really important story because you see how this story has influenced time and space, and how we, coming to the present today, we see that, that's still happening from time to time. We have the middle class and poorer classes giving all that they can manage to have. Meanwhile, the rich only just give the bare minimum. And so we sort of get to see this lesson, so to speak, passed on to us from a very, very earlier time, and seeing how history does, in fact, tend to repeat itself.
I love that the story focuses on the history of Jerusalem in a quick and concise way without becoming redundant, without ever becoming redundant. It was never boring. It was really fascinating to engage with the narrator and her journey with the people around her as she educates them on the history of the coins of the mites. The visuals chosen were also great, which made for a much easier watch. And it was also of a learning experience on my part, just to get to learn a bit more about Jerusalem and the origins of the mites.
I really enjoyed the educational aspects as well of them being at the dig site and, getting to learn a little bit about the fact that there is, still so much that we're uncovering, and from just from thousands of years ago, which I think is so wonderful and so impressive, and kind of mind-boggling when you really think about it, and you try and put that amount of time into perspective. So I really enjoyed that, just as a beginning kind of aspect to it, but that taking something that you've seen from there and being able to relate it back to something like a story that to be able to connect this kind of artifact that you're finding from thousands of years ago that seemingly has no link or connection to current times, and being able to link it with a story, I think is so fantastic.
Great way to sort of give a lot of information. It kind of has this sort of documentary feel, but I'm pretty sure it's all scripted. So it does a great job at sort of balancing between those two, where it's able to or we as viewers are able to take in and get so much information and digest it in a really conversational way, because our actors speaking directly to us. We absolutely feel like we're there, we're part of it, and we're learning. We're here on this journey. So it's just a really fascinating, interesting piece.
I love this learning opportunity and listening about the widow, the coins or mites, and how these characters are represented and carried on through legendary stories through millennia. These stories support our intentions and motivations for being a good person and what we hold as sacred or our values. It was very interesting to see the naturality with a nonchalant vibe of the film, and it was just very interesting. Totally love the script and the setting. It was such a fun exploration of the mites and the story behind it.
This was quite an informative short. I love archaeology, and this film did not disappoint. I really enjoyed hearing from the archaeologist about the job of sifting through artifacts and their relationship to famous texts, such as the woman's coins or mites as mentioned in the Bible. Great close-up shots of items that have been found in the fascinating region. Believable performances of all on screen. I like the gentle soundtrack, notably the soft piano. I would love to see more films from this group in their search for other ancient artifacts.